like it's good, and I like the Bible.
It's gonna take us about a year to finish this, so it's
Yeah.
gonna take a long time.
Well, today we're still studying on Samson.
Yeah.
And I got my Samson hair.
Are you sure that's Samson hair?
Yeah. It's
It
long.
looks like rock and roll
It's
hair.
not.
It's long. It's long, and I like it.
Wait, oh.
So here, my Samson hair. I went to buy it.
It looks.
He thought it looked
It looked
long.
long, but it didn't. So
It looks like you just wanted to buy it.
It's like pipe.
no.
Is it
It's my
uncomfortable?
Samson
Hey,
hair.
can I try to wear the
It's
Samson
long.
hair?
No, not right now, because I'm
Aw.
Samson right now.
Man.
So,
Maybe at the end.
what did
maybe
we
at the end.
stop the last one? The last video. The last video. What did we learn about Samson? We learned that Samson wasn't too good of a person,
But then he started listening
Right?
to God.
and then he was going to start listening to God.
And then the
Okay.
last thing you told us that is he poked his eyes out? No, somebody cut his hair?
No.
No?
They married his wife.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
his wife
yeah.
died.
No,
wife-
they
Because
gave
they were
his
burnt
wife.
down
They gave his wife
to his friend.
His friend, right? Now,
And his friend
on
agreed.
this part, we learned that Samson comes back years later
Mhm.
and finds out that his wife is married to someone else and has a kid. Okay? Then,
He shouldn't get mad.
he gets upset. Like, I would have got upset too, because my wife is my wife and they gave it to someone else to be a wife for someone else. So, he gets upset with the people that did that to him. Because they did him right, okay? So he captures 300 foxes, like 300 foxes.
300?
Yeah,
How could he find that
could he
much?
find?
I don't know.
Probably in like a litter, right?
I don't know, but he gets 300 foxes and puts like torches on their tails, okay? And then
Wow.
lets them run into the Philistines' land. And that part of the land had like crops and maybe corn, maybe wheat and stuff like they used to make bread and corn to make tortillas. I don't know what
Tortilla.
they used to
I
make.
like
Wait.
tortillas.
they make tortillas with corn.
For
That's
a future
good.
video,
And
what about... Okay, we'll get right back to it after I say this.
can we continue?
Right
Really?
after I say this one
Okay.
thing. What about you wear that hair and put a camera inside the hair?
I don't know.
That'd be
Probably,
so
probably
cool.
we could do that.
That'd be so cool.
In
Probably
one
could
of
do
the
that. I
videos,
like my hair.
maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so and we continue.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can continue. I just
So-
wanted to say that.
He lets the foxes run and then burn all the field and all the crops and the corn and everything. And guess what happens?
What?
The Philistines get mad at him
How did they know it's him first thing?
because they were asking people around like, who did this? Who did this? And they were like, that Israelite, the Samson guy, this really strong guy, the guy that has the long hair.
How did they know it was him though? They were up that night?
And then on that time, the Philistines thought that Samson was a problem, but the Israelites thought that Samson was a problem too, because he was causing trouble, and the Philistines were gonna go get the Israelites, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, he goes up into a mountain and he hides himself there in the mountain, right? And the Philistines come to the Israelites.
Wait, he's coming up.
He's climbing up. Okay.
You have to climb up the mountain.
No, he
There's
doesn't climb.
Samson.
He walks up the mountain.
You have to walk up the mountain.
Okay.
How?
And then the Philistines come to the Israelites.
Yes.
And they tell the Israelites, if you don't give us Samson, we're gonna do something to you guys. And you're not gonna like it. So you better give us Samson. Yeah? Guess what the Israelites did?
Give them
What?
some.
Would you give me up?
No.
Would you give me up?
No. No.
No?
I said no twice.
So you think if you were in trouble and they ask you, hey, where's your dad? He's causing trouble. Will you tell them where your dad is?
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, that's what the Israelites did. They went to grab Samson and they told him, look, you're causing trouble, and we don't want trouble with the Philistines. We need to put a rope around you, and we're gonna take you down to the Philistines.
We'll have a bad cut.
Okay. So guess what happens?
What?
They put a rope around him, and they tie him up. They tie him up, and they take him to the Philistine. And the Philistine people, they are so like in anger. They have so much anger on them, and they start screaming that, "Oh, we're gonna do this to you, Samson, and we're gonna do this to you, Samson, and we're gonna do that to you, Samson." And Samson gets mad and cuts the ropes, like just boom, pulls the ropes apart, and then grabs something and then starts swinging the thing, and he goes into battle with the Philistines, and he kills some people, some of the soldiers.
How
Okay,
much? Did it not say anything?
1,000 soldiers.
Really?
He killed 1,000 soldiers with a donkey's
With a donkey's jaw.
jaw. He goes insane. He kills 1,000 soldiers because they wanted to kill him.
Lila's scared.
Okay. Then, guess what happens?
Oh yeah, I
What?
shouldn't get those.
He was so tired that day because he had to fight 1,000 soldiers. He was so tired, and then he fell on the ground, and he almost died, and then he asked for water, and no one gave him water, and then he prays to God.
Oh, I know.
He prays to God, and then God like recovers him, and he gets up again, and then goes his way. Okay.
Getting water.
So for 20 years, Samson was helping the Israelites try to liberate the Israelites. So one day, he meets this girl. Do you know the name of the girl?
Delilah.
Delilah.
Lila's a person in the Bible. A
Yeah.
bad one though, right?
Well, we don't know yet. So he meets Delilah. What's your name, Delilah?
Delilah.
You know where I get your name from?
No.
From this story.
Really?
Yeah,
For real?
for real. So Delilah's name is from this story, from Delilah.
In the song.
And no, it was from the Bible. I got it from the Bible, not the
Yeah.
song. But
Yeah,
but
my
the
name
song-
isn't in the Bible anywhere.
he meets Delilah, and then he falls in love with Delilah, right? And the Philistines go to Delilah and tell her, like, hey, you need to tell us why he's so strong, because we want to capture him. Okay, so they go and tell Delilah, why is he so strong? Why is he so strong? And then she's like, well, I don't know. And they tell her, well, we'll give you 30 pieces we'll give you money. Every one of us will give you 30 pieces of silver if you tell us what makes him so strong. What do you think makes him so strong?
His hair.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You're sure?
Yeah.
100%?
Yep.
Okay, so
Wait.
Delilah asked Samson, like, what makes you so strong? And he said, well, God give me the strength.
I was gonna say that.
Okay? And then she said, well, how can I make you weak? And he said, well, if you tie my hands, if you tie my legs with brand new rope, then I won't be able to escape. And then that's how I lose my strength. So he falls asleep,
Oh.
and then she ties Samson hands and feet and everything, and then she wakes him up and says, the Philistines are here, they're gonna come get you. And then he gets up and rips the court apart and everything, and he goes outside, there's nothing. And Delilah's sad. Why do you think she was sad?
Because he lied.
I mean, he didn't want to tell her the truth.
Yeah, nobody would.
So, I think she was sad because she wanted the money.
Oh yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
So she tells Samson again, she's like, you don't love me. If you love me, you will tell me what makes you weak. Right? And then he said, well, if you cover me with this, I will go weak. And then she does that with the thing that he says to do.
What did he say?
To cover him with one was rope, one was something else. Can't remember. but she covers him with that. Okay, and then he wakes up again. And has full strength, full everything, and then she gets sad again. Why?
Stop lying to her.
Yeah. No, he wasn't lying. He was just done telling him the truth. Because, do you think he wanted to reveal his strength? How to get him to be weak? I don't think so.
I think the one after this is when he tells.
Then she goes like, well, you live in my house. You eat here, you sleep here, you have a roof in my house, you're with me and everything. I think I should know what makes you weak. And then she cries and cries and cries and cries, whines and whines and whines. Okay? So Samson finally goes like, okay, well if you cut my hair, then I'll be weak. And then, well, my strength will go away. So he falls asleep. And then she cuts his hair. And Samson had no more hair.
Oh, can I wear Samson's hair?
No, yeah, because the Samson's hair's gone.
Oh, man.
So she wakes him up.
Well, she did
And he's
it.
like, oh, the Philistines are here. The Philistines are here. And then he gets up and tries to fight the Philistines. And guess what?
What?
He's weak. He has no hair.
Oh, no. I think it flipped for you.
All his strength was gone. Right?
Yeah.
They capture him, and they did mean things to him.
So she was a bad guy.
She was a bad guy. She was trying to
Then
get
why
Samson.
did you get Lila's name from that story?
Because it's a beautiful name. It's a beautiful name. The girl was a bad girl, but
she
the
just
name is
wanted the
beautiful.
money.
She just wanted the money.
That's not
That's
good.
not good. That's not good.
No. So
You should never want
they
money.
capture Samson. They hit him. Right? They put him in jail, and they blind him.
They poked his eyes out with spears.
No, we don't know. But he wasn't able to see anymore. And they mocked him and they did things to him. They were so mean to him and he couldn't see anymore. Do you think he was sad?
Yes, he was like this.
I think he was super sad.
Well,
Can
wait,
you
could he
imagine?
cry?
You can't see.
You can't.
You don't have your strength. He probably felt like God wasn't with him anymore. He probably felt abandoned by his family and his friends. He was in jail with the people that hated him. I would be so sad. Don't you think? Would you be sad, Layla?
Yes.
How sad?
Very sad.
Very sad? London?
Crying sad.
Crying sad?
Well, I couldn't cry because I don't have any eyeballs.
So they make a big...
Eyeballs to
These
cry.
guys, the Philistines, they make a big party. And they invite a bunch of people from the city, okay? And they're gonna have Samson tied up in a part of the house that they're having the party, and they're gonna make fun of him because he was super strong and he was always, standing up for the Israelites. And now he's not strong. He's in jail. He has no vision. He has no hair, no strength.
Why did they even give him vision?
No eyes. He had no eyes. No strength, no eyes. So he couldn't see. Okay? Then, Samson prays to God again. Okay? And he's praying and praying and praying and praying. And he prays to God. He's like, please, Lord, let me go back with you. Let me do this for you. Let me be useful for you one more time. And let me show these Philistines that you are with me and show them your power. Okay? So he's tied up against the wall. These pillars in the middle, right? And they were holding up the whole building, those pillars. And then he'd start like pushing against each pillar.
Yeah.
Nothing happens. And people are making fun of him. Okay? And then he keeps praying and keeps praying and keeps praying. He's like, I finally see what God wanted me to see. Finally. Okay?
What was it?
God wanted him to see the will of God for his life of Samson. Okay? And Samson couldn't see anything before when he had his eyes, because he wanted other things that God didn't want it for him. And some of us do the same thing. Okay, with our lives. Sometimes God wants us to go to the left, but we want to go to the right. And sometimes we want to go to the right, but God wants us to go to the left. Right? That's what Samson was. Like, that's why he was so disobedient. Okay? But then he had no eyes. Okay? So he was able to see better. He was able to understand why God wanted him to do certain things, because the Philistines were so mean to the Israelites, and God wanted to liberate the Israelites and show the Israelites that God was the true God. Okay, so he's doing this, boom, 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 pushing one pillar and pushes the other one and keeps pushing it, and then God gives him his strength back. Push, and then he pushes everything, and everything falls on top of everyone. Everyone that was in that party, they were mean people. They were going to do bad things to the Israelites, and they were planning to do more things. And everything falls on them. All the house and the roof and everything just squished them.
They were as flat as a pancake.
But sadly,
our hero
had to die. He died. But he died doing the will of God. No, his own will. Okay? So sometimes
you have to follow God even if it means your life.
Sometimes you have to follow God even if it doesn't make sense for you doesn't make sense what God wants.
Yep.
But for God it always makes sense. Always makes sense.
Always makes sense.
So I hope you guys like this video.
Yeah,
I hope you guys like the story of Samson. We learned that
Give a like and
started
subscribe to this channel.
we started as a disobedient hero, and then he ended up being
a God's person.
a God's follower and a superhero. His strength was strength. He was super strong.
Like me.
But he also used another superpower.
What is it?
The power of praying.
Of prayer. He used the power of prayer and the power of faith.
Hope.
And hope. Have a good night, guys.